special plug-in. I have a special plug-in that is ready to go, and it doesn't always work with YouTube, which is kind of frustrating. So hopefully it's not going to create too much problem for them, you know. How to watch me on that channel. We're getting it. We're getting through it. I just haven't figured it out 100%. So chances are this is going to, for my YouTube people, this is going to stream in some kind of vertical format as well as your portrait desktop friendly format. So we'll see exactly what is going on. So in the chat, let me know how you feel about this new frame I've got going here. I put it together, and initially it's supposed to be so that, you know, my face shows up in this little TV, and then Freddie shows up in this one. Let's see if she's gonna show up in this one. Darn it, where'd it go? Well, I'm going to add Fred to this. So, no, it's not that. Because it's important that you get to see my little dude here. Oh, looks like I don't have her. We'll figure it out. But anyway, if Freddie's there, she'll show up right in that little spot that's red right now. So this little thing is not going to show up in our main thing because I'm still figuring out the sizes and the, you know, how to make the most of this particular thing. I've seen other streamers that do art and they have a frame around, and they even use just like a third of their stream, but they're also very close to their paper. So those of you who have not seen me stream, welcome. My name is Wynne Blue. I am a musician and artist out of Seattle, Washington. And if you are in Washington, then I'm from the Seattle area. And if you are a purist, well, I'm from Bothell, which is not too far from Seattle, actually. And it's very suburban. Not that Seattle doesn't have suburban areas, but eh. All right, so let's go to the drawing area. I'm going to switch through some scenes here. Yeah, there we go. And you can see that I've got a little spot for chat. I changed a bunch of my chat stuff so that I could see it on the new overlay. And, well, I just didn't feel like sending it back. So here we are. And what I've got here is something that needs a lot more light. Not for me, but for you. Now, every year I send out a comic as a holiday card. This started many years ago when I started to get a bunch of holiday cards from friends and family. And, you know, the thing about holiday cards is that, and holiday letters, is that you basically sum up what you did for the year. And everybody has their own format. Some put it on pretty paper. Some put it in their card. Some do it in Word. And let me tell you, if you do it in Word, and I don't recommend this, if you do it in Word, set your pictures for Word wrap and maybe do some columns. Maybe put the pictures in one column and the word. Use Publisher if you can get a copy of Publisher. I love reading the letters. I love knowing what people are doing. What I don't love is having my eyes sort through the formats, and the formats are, well, you get the word out the way you get the word out. What's important is that if you do it, you do it. And a lot of people don't do any kind of holiday letter. They pick a card that is really pretty, and they sign it, and they let you know that they're thinking of you, and I think that's wonderful too. I love getting cards from friends. I love getting cards from family. I also love phone calls on Christmas morning. It's all good. It's a holiday, and it's not great for everybody. I think in adulthood we kind of lose a lot of that enthusiasm from having to merge our, I'm going to turn down my lo-fi a little bit, having to merge our traditions with somebody else's traditions. And I learned kind of the hard way that you either give into it and abandon all your childhood traditions, or you insist that you incorporate them. You can always create your own. I'm not going to tell people, please, when you get married, you have to do somebody else's Christmas traditions. No, create your own. My ex and I used to have try to create a tradition where we would go to the movies on Christmas Day. Because yes, the movie theaters are open on Christmas Day. The only issue I ever had with that is that I missed out on a lot of Christmas morning stuff that I grew up with as a kid. And I know that there are some families that do their holidays where they do something on Christmas Eve. And for those of you who don't celebrate or recognize Christmas, I'm sorry. This is, to me, it's a secular holiday where people get together and sometimes you get some cool stuff. And as an adult, it's not anything like what you had as a kid. And that's the only sad part of it. But I've kind of outgrown the need for presents, and now I just look forward to food. Food. You gotta have real good food. So when you have your when you have some good food and some good company, that makes a holiday. And it doesn't matter if it's with friends or with family, if it's a big family, a small family, just, a bunch of buddies just hanging out and doing a thing. So anyway, I do a holiday comic, and last year I did a zine. And I did a zine for Inktober like a month or so ago, which was really great. And that was fun, and I enjoyed that. But the only problem is that with doing a comic is that you have to figure out how in the world do you fit everything into 4, 6, 8 panels? I've always been one of those people who has to accomplish something over the year, much to the chagrin of my husband, who every year I ask him, I said, what do you want to put in the letter? He's like, I don't know, Wynne, you're the one that always does stuff. Yes, I am. It's something I like doing. It's something I want to do. So I have the basics down here, and I'm going to clean them up a little bit so that everything is proportional. And once it's done, then I will move it over to Procreate to ink it. And this year, usually I don't get them out until mid-December, but this year I decided nothing interesting happens over Thanksgiving and Christmas that is worth reporting to the rest of the family. It just isn't. Because everybody does the same thing. They work, they shop, they think about food. This year, during Thanksgiving, I'm probably going to do some recording. I'm going to do some recording this week. And then I'll do some more experimenting with songs with my Harmony Lady group. And the only thing that kind of bugs me about doing a holiday letter is that this holiday letter ends up going out to my husband's family. And I'm not talking about people who I see like on a monthly basis or that I text with or who sends me memes. These are people that we see once in a blue moon, like at funerals. At funerals or weddings, you know, we don't see a lot of these people. And to send them a comic of what I've accomplished just seems really kind of greedy, you know, it kind of attention whoring maybe. But it's always been important to me to do something that shows that I haven't really wasted my time, even if I feel like I've wasted my time. Around so that it gets on the camera. Why do I always feel like I have to do something? I'll tell you why. It's because if I don't do something, I am just going to, I don't know, go to my deathbed and have tons of regret. I think no matter what, we're going to have some regret. But I want to be doing something. And I'm kind of wondering, oh crud, somebody's home. Hang on a second. All right, I had somebody come home. Jack is at physical therapy. Devin was out all day. So I'm just waiting for both of them to be home, and as soon as that happens, Jack will probably start cooking. Always makes the rest of the stream difficult because he uses lots of onion and garlic and my favorites. Alright, I had to make sure that dog, who is still being a little barky, that she gets in her bed and she hangs out. I'm going to take a moment and we're going to look at Fred because she is finally where she belongs. Oh, those ears. She's thinking about it. I think right here, and I'm going to change to a different screen. Well, thank you, Tom Girl. She is adorable. She's a very good dog. Where did the... Oh, I need to move my little droid cam. Let's put her in a corner. I need to get the dog thing going on. I didn't realize that I had put her in a weird spot. Freddie is a rescue. She is 9 years old. She'll be 10. She'll be 10 in January. And thank you for the follow. I still consider myself pretty new at this, but I'm finding my groove. I'm just going to give Jack here a generic side view until I can find... Oops, that ear's in a weird place. Until I can find a reference photo. 3 rescues, oh my goodness. You know, I was told when I got Freddie from the local paws that she would get used to us. And she got used to me, but she didn't get used to my husband. Oh no, she'll get fine. She'll be part of the household. It'll be great. Nope. She's still very suspicious of my husband, even after all these years. However, he is the first place she goes when she wants food. So let's see if I can find a really good profile pic of my husband. He's really good at showing me the back of his head or making a weird face. Which I guess sometimes is fun, unless you really want a reference photo. So while I'm skimming through this, they really choose their person. Yeah, I'm her person. And I adopted an orange cat not long before. And I worked really hard to make sure that he attached more to my husband than me, mainly because I discovered I was allergic to cats not long ago. Well, I'm lying. I found out about 4 or 5 years ago that I was allergic when I had already had a series of cats. Didn't even know it. I'd had these animals for years, and then one day I woke up and bam. Let me show you what kind of pictures my husband likes to take. That's not a side picture. So both of them like to stick to my side. Which at times is really sweet, and at other times, no. I love my animals. They're wonderful. They are also just clingy, I guess. And I didn't have any kids, so a lot of people I know, before they had children, they had dogs. Because that's kind of what you want, right? Dogs are a little more maintenance than cats, Just a little. And, I'm starting to see how having a dog would prepare you for having children. But I haven't had a dog since I was a kid, so. And it was a dachshund, and his name was Bojangles. Uh-oh, are we barking again? And only this last year she started to just sit in the bedroom and bark at noises. I think she's just getting a little older, Just starting to get a little bit older and maybe a little bit weirder. She's got her own little fun issues. And she's like a cat in the sense that she likes to go out about every 10 minutes. And when it's rainy and muddy outside, she likes to dig in dirt. That's new. Okay. I'm trying to get something that actually looks like my husband on this. I might have to text him. I need a profile picture of you, and I don't have one. Period. This means a side view, not something that you would take for a social media profile. Okay, let's see if he takes a picture of himself. Let's see if he takes the right one. Enrichment. Digging in the mud is definitely enrichment of a certain kind. I think the mud thing started when we built our deck. We did a new deck last year, which was full of adventure. Oh yeah, we're about to take an ad break for our Twitch users. So unless you have Turbo or are a subscriber, you might have to sit through about 2.5 minutes. I suggest you take this time to get up and stretch, get some water, maybe a snack. I need to know where my husband's mouth is. I'm just waiting for the profile pic because I don't want to get this wrong. These days he wears his hair very short. I had to turn around and look and see if he was hanging out at the door. If you're at the grocery store, will you please pick me up some peanut butter and cheese crackers? He's probably already home. All right, I gotta get a doll. Where did my dolls go? got to do a little interrupt here, away from my screen, to introduce you to Sally. Sally is a curvy doll, and sometimes she helps me with perspective and stuff. It's a start. Trust me on this. Might not be natural, but it's there, and I just want to figure out where the shoulder hits and such. So I'm on the right track. Oh gosh, the way that this is, he looks like Geordie LaForge. Let's get these glasses figured out. Normally the ears, they hit right at the eye line and then the bottom of the nose. Now I do this for my holiday card, but if you do something at this time of year to reach out to family and friends, maybe a social media post, maybe a group email, oh, criminy. And unlocked a childhood memory. I still can't look at that character without thinking of all the times I put a banana clip in my hair to go to school in the morning. I always thought, oh, that's kind of strange, but hey, it works. And I think even the producers of the show had said that that's where they got the idea. Let's just spray paint a banana clip and call it good. And it worked. picture. Is it something I can use? Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you, sweetie. All right, now it's time to turn it around. I know there are better things to do on your cell phone. Uh-oh. Maybe that one will work. He's got one with a hat and one without. I didn't really like Photoshop for Android. I still don't. But you know how you often work with what you know? All right. My reference photo. Will be pleased to know that my husband's nose is not nearly that large. Let's get a little closer. Oh, come on, you. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer with the main camera. Yeah, that's good. Oh, looks like I'm going to need the reference that doesn't have his hat on. Come on. How in the world am I going to get pencil on that? All right, that's turning out pretty good. Now I'll tell you right now, my friend Beach Doggy, who usually watches my streams, she is risking spoilers, but don't worry, Beach Doggy. The real spoiler is in the text. And I'm probably not going to get to that. I am probably not going to get to that tonight. This is one of those, are you sure you want to know how the sausage is made? Saw the warning. Yep. It does say spoilers. My notification thing just said spoilers. I'm experimenting with notifications that just have one word in them. I've seen some art streamers, particularly there's this one woman who works in oil paints. Her name is Claire. And Claire's notification message is one character. It's the lowercase letter Q. And I'm intrigued. All right, so this next part is going to be interesting. Got myself a little reference photo here. Gotta make sure there's no tangents. And I've talked about tangents before. And tangents are where lines intersect and take the depth out of a drawing. And what I'm doing right now is I'm doing some blocking. Perspective has never been my strong suit, but I do my best. This thing right here, this is amazing. It is a Tombow Mono Zero, and it's got a tiny, tiny little end to it. Tombow also makes this one, which is the Knock 8, Knock 3.8, just a little bit bigger, and you can pretty much find this one anywhere. And I have no idea who makes it because I've had this one for so long. All of the words have rubbed off. I think it's Pentel. So whenever I go to someone else's stream, someone else's art stream, there's a 90% chance there is a budding artist. And when I say budding, I mean budding, as in a flower about to bud. Ba-ba-ba. And they always ask, they always say things like, I don't know how to draw. I can't draw. How do I draw? And they get similar answers, which is just do it. Just do it. Just keep doing it. You're going to draw a lot of really terrible, terrible pictures. They're just going to be awful. But you know what? That's okay. you don't draw terrible, untalented pictures, how are you going to know when you're getting better? I know that sounds awful, but it's true. You have to be terrible at something before you can be good at something. I know that's not what a lot of young artists or new artists want to hear. But it's the best explanation I can give. And if you are on any other platform that has a lot of pictures on it, where there are some artists that have been doing it a while, if you go back further into their feeds, you'll see some pretty terrible stuff. You'll see bodies out of proportion or weird colors. And for a brief second, you'll say, good God, who drew that? And sometimes they'll post something that says, hey, I didn't realize how well I was doing until I compared my works to stuff that I did ages ago. So if you are not ready to do something terrible with art, if you're not ready to make a drawing that you're not going to like, then here's what you do. You do it anyway. You do it with the intention of making something awful. You look at it and you go, wow, this is truly terrible. I think my dog drew this. Or maybe even, I drew this with my left hand or my feet. Oh, this is not a good leg. Okay, so there's that one. That looks pretty good. And when I get this done, I'll put little shadows out here so we can emphasize that. I think this one, for the most part, is done. And the only one that I am not keen on is this. I might just erase that whole thing and figure it out at a different angle. Uh-oh. I don't have any water. I need some water. Okay, just texted the husband. Gonna make sure I get some water. Yeah, I don't like that. It's a preliminary sketch, but I couldn't get the proportions right. So I'm gonna think about that one. Maybe erase it a little bit. And then move on to What a difference a quarter of an inch makes. Okay, let's get back to this. How far out does one's elbow go? A little bit of elbow. Hello, I'm doing this. All right, one more reference photo. I'm not going to ask my husband for it because I already have a jillion pictures of him on my phone. Now, how many is a jillion? It's a large number that you cannot name. That is probably over 100. All right, where are you, darling? You know, I just noticed there's an ungodly amount of selfies on my phone as well. I don't think you ever outgrow the whole let's take a selfie thing. Anyone who has known my husband for any period of time knows he has an extremely large mouth. Closed or open, it's huge. And I can almost never get it right. Almost. So this pretty much means I need to figure out if I can get a picture of him with his freaking mouth open. I know, it should be easy, right? There we go, that's close. I need a new phone. Beach Doggy, I hate this phone. I need to get another Razor. That was the coolest darn phone. They are so precious. But you know, they are also kind of fragile. But they fit in my back frickin' pocket. And they don't take a lot of room in my purse. And Those are two reasons why I like them. Plus, this screen is like a bag of holding. It's bigger on the inside. Infinite room on the inside almost. I should probably just say TARDIS because a lot more people are familiar with Doctor Who than they are D&D. For some reason, I got a whole bunch of notifications from my games app. I've never had notifications before. What was it thinking? I don't need to be reminded to play games on my phone. I don't know if you do, but not me. Wow. I've been playing Triple Town on my Android for 15 years. It's a match 3 game. The little square bears. Some of them are ninjas. And they're out to keep you from building your town. Just a little match 3. And recently I discovered there's a games app on Android. I think it's on every Android. And I've been playing Solitaire. And Mahjong. some of these weird things. I used to play Mahjong a lot on my computer. I was pretty good at it. But, you know, you have to have really sharp eyes to play Mahjong. At least the game that I've been playing. Recently, like today, I was looking for more card games. Preferably something I wasn't going to like too much, so I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I ended up downloading this zombie card game, which was fun, but zombies freak me out. Honestly, don't care if it's a funny movie. The whole idea of having that come after you and want to eat you is just... All right, let's see. I'll come back to this one just simply because this is a tough pose when you have chubby arms. Chubby arms. I've got a bunch of, I don't know what I'm gonna put in this space because earlier this year, clearly since this is a holiday letter, I did a gig with the ladies that I harmonize with. It took us forever to come up with a name, which was, let me tell you something. You want 3 to 5 people to argue with each other? You sit down and you come up with a name for a band. And at the end, you end up with a band name that you're kind of okay with. Looking for another reference shot here. I don't think my reference shots are on my phone. I put a few on Instagram, which was nice. Yeah, I think they're just on my Insta. And my Instagram is... where the hell is it? Oh, right, Instagram.com. Gotta scroll down, find it. Gotta scroll down, find it. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Oh, pictures of friends. Best photo bomb ever. Okay. Yeah, I gotta find a good picture. I wish somebody had taken a picture from the side of the stage to get everybody. So when there's just 3 people on the stage, you kind of end up with everybody giving each other room so they don't whack each other in the head with their instrument. Yeah, maybe I ought to do that. Oh, we had an ad break. Usually I'm a lot better at letting people know about those. I must have been very focused. Okay, we've got the bodies down. Let's clean them up a little. Now, the thing about Porch Fest is that apparently I didn't get the memo about wearing a hat. I was the only person who didn't wear a hat. I'm going to try and get my camera back up so that it's looking pretty close without getting in my way. Almost forgot what I was wearing that day. was the first time I'd ever played bass in public, and I was terrible at it, and I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, that's not right. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm. Mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. When I got there, everybody was waiting for me. Biggest crowd I think I'd ever seen that year. The pressure's on now. Yeah, that's not fair to put her all the way back there. Now keep in mind I'm going to scan this and then ink it in Procreate. All right. Well, have fun with your lurk and thank you for leaving it. Hit the exclamation point lurk. Beach Doggy is learning the commands. I'm trying to think of which direction my guitar strap goes. All right, that's going to have to do for that particular square. Now this is one that's a little... How in the world do you draw, we're all stuck at home and we're getting on each other's nerves? Do you put them behind bars? Do you stick them all in the kitchen? Do you have one of them, oh yeah, looking out the window, looking sad, See how many instances of me are in here. One. Let me go back a little. We're back a little bit, and we're going to look at this. So I have me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Jack, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, let's draw a picture of Jack looking out the front window, looking sad. I think we can do that, right? I know these are getting kind of tiny. Jack. And it's kind of tiny, but that's okay. He's got some detail. An alternative would be to show him from a rear view or a side view from the inside of the house. Might be nice to try that too. I may make a few alternate compositions for this particular one. Now, when it comes to this particular thing and inking it, what I'll end up doing is everything behind here will be dark, shadowy. Which will allow me to use a white ink pen to create the panes in the glass. Let me grab another sketchbook. I know I have a couple nearby. Yeah, let's take a quick look at Freddie while I dig through a pile of papers. All right. Where are you, Freddie girl? There you are. All right, BRB, less than a minute. Good grief, dog. What's the point of having people visit if you're just going to run away? Come on. Good girl. back to the drawing board. Oh, we are very close to my desk. Oh, we were just doing Porch Fest, right? Dang it, I just sharpened you. Okay. So this is Edmonds, Washington. It's right by the water. It's really nice. You have to have a lot of money to live there, though. And my friend Carol thought that we should go and perform, and I was not ready. See, in order to be good at something, you have to put in the hours. And I didn't know until I had done this show that playing bass and singing at the time, just not a really good combo. And our experience was a little bit colored because somebody who was not part of the festival started playing a loud rock band in the alley behind us. Not fun. But there I am. So let's go to a clean page, and I'm going to explore a couple of other options for this stuck indoors thing. So this whole thing could be a window. Let me make him look more like a cat, because right now he doesn't look like a cat at all. Right now he looks more like something from a medieval painting about chaos. So here's one where his hand is in his pocket and the focal point is the cat. And then I'd put text up here. Or so then we have some scritching. I know that's not the best perspective, but... And then we'd have some darkness back here. Maybe a little bit of representation with walls. So this here would be like the narration box. If you've ever read comic books, you know that there are some things that are in balloons. They're not bubbles. They are balloons. And then there are some in boxes. And boxes are narration, either by a narrator or by a character who is not in the scene. And then here we would have like a long one. And then maybe a smaller one right here. For more words. Oh, I'm off camera. There we go. Y'all are more than welcome to let me know if I'm not in the window. Because what's an art stream if you can't see somebody draw or paint or do whatever? Okay, so we have option B and option C. I like both of them. Let's see if I can get that and zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Looking out from inside. I might. I'd have to put some really cool, get a reference photo that would show me all that cool stuff. I can smell dinner. I'm gonna have to just power through it though. Let's see, let's go with one more. Okay, yeah, let's go with one more. Okay, so let's see. So we'd have the light, the window right here. So I have that. I could just, put like an easy chair in the background. Okay, maybe a lamp that's not on. None of this looks like what my house is. So there we have three. We have one from the rear view, one from the side view, and one focused on the cat. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Which one do I want? That one, it only looks like it's complete because it's the first thing that popped into my head. And then these. Let's go back a little bit. I mean, is there enough light to actually see those? Yeah, probably. So let's see, there's the first one, and then the alts would be A, B, and C. If those are viable alternates, just let me know. I could put a poll up, but I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I've only been doing this regularly for about 6 months. I still don't quite know what a hype train is. And I'm not sure about the whole thing about bits and what comes of all these other things. But I will encourage a follow until I figure out this whole thing. The fake internet points are very helpful. So let's see, gotta figure out where I'm gonna wrap up, but I feel the need to keep drawing, And if you've been watching for very long, make sure you're hydrated or have a nice snack. I also hope that you have a companion with you, whether they're furry or inanimate like a teddy bear or something. That's always nice to have a little teddy bear to hang out with. Or a big fuzzy blanket. All right. reasons that my husband is stuck at home is that while he was building this deck, he managed to injure himself. All right. Okay, so let's get some leaves out here. Now this right here, this is the view from my sliding glass door. And it wouldn't be a deck without some Edison lights, right? And yes, I'm going to put some people in this. And you know, I've been drawing people for a really long time, so inanimate objects sometimes escape me. So I try to do them when I can. there we go. Let's not forget to put a little hole back here, because that's where the bunnies come out. Now, where did my music go? Oh, there you are. We have to have music. I'm sorry, we can't do this without it. Good times. 2.5 hours. That's a long time for me to be streaming. Now, I would put some furniture on here, but we don't have any furniture on our deck. Yet. We're still navigating things like the wind and the rain. And every time it rains, we get everything all soaked again. So we're thinking about building a screen, and we're thinking about curtains to hang, and we're thinking about other things that we could keep on this place. Where do we start doing the thing where we're finally done with all of these updates? It looks nice though, like a grown-up did it. God knows we had some problems with building this piece of home life, home life. I don't think it's big enough for a swing. Maybe we'll save it for the front porch, if we ever get around to making one. And no, I don't sing all the time. Just fun times. All right, so we have this one. Okay, so what do we have here? We have pretty much everything that needs to be had. And now all that we really need to do is get this baby scanned. I'm going to put my so we got it going on there. We've got our house is painted. I was coming home. Me trying to paint. I didn't put anything about streaming, but that's fine. I can put it on a sticker. You know what I mean? I can put it on a sticker. So let's give a good look at Freddie here. She looks like she has given up. Bless her little heart. Oh, my little Freddie is just hanging out. And when I get up from my seat, she's gonna run out to this deck. Ooh, yeah. All right, so let me talk to you for a second, where you can look at my fancy overlay. La 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 la. I really like this overlay, but I think I may have missized it a little bit. I need something somewhat smaller. I've seen a lot of other people do kind of a fun little where they feature their artwork and things like that. I kind of like this. I like the way I designed it. It just needs to be a little skinnier so you can see exactly what is here. Like, for instance, let me see if I can show you what shows up here. Oh, is it not going to show me? Oh, wait. See, it doesn't really show you as much as I'd like for you to see. And this is upside down, so I don't know if you could see that. If you could see that, if you'd enjoy that, maybe I'll do this next time. I just want to do something fun with frames and illustrations to show exactly what it is that I do. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream for my YouTube people, because I find that on YouTube, the concept of rating is a little there is a thing that YouTube does, but I have not experienced it, and I only have like 68 followers on YouTube. I could always use more. So if you like this and you want to see some standalone videos that I've made go up, I'm going to create some short form video to go up there. I'm just now getting into video, y'all, so this is a whole new experience for me. So let me say goodnight to my YouTube people. Everybody wave to the YouTube people. I love you. I'll see you on Sunday for music. Hopefully YouTube will be back. Give me a follow on YouTube if you haven't already. It's under @TroubleFakersHQ. I'll put the username in the Twitch thing, so anybody on Twitch who is up for doing that cool thing over on the YouTubes will do that.